Hello and welcome to Live Action Rebels, our Ahsoka after show and breakdown here on ExplosionNetwork.com. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me to discuss this week's episode, Asher Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here and take a trip to the past.
Yep, a very smoky, foggy
Things were
past.
Yeah, things were unclear.
Things were very unclear. And yet, clearer than they've ever been. No, I don't know. This week's episode was titled Shadow Warrior. It was written by Dave Filoni again, and it was directed by Dave Filoni in his return for this season. This is the second episode that he's directed for this season. What did you think? This is the one that they stuck in cinemas in some places around America.
Yeah, so expectations reasonably high if they're sticking this in cinemas. Like, you're expecting people to... Well, no, I don't think they actually charge people. I think they just have it in cinemas.
I did that. Oh, that's all right. If they didn't
from
charge
memory,
people,
I can't remember.
You just had to sign in with your scan
You
a
just
QR
have to
code, sign in with
register.
your Disney Plus account.
Probably. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Obviously, I don't have as much of attachment. Like, I probably didn't pop as hard for like Clone Wars era moments. But, you know, as someone kind of sort of familiar, or like clearly there was enough there to latch onto. And yeah, it's, you know, we had lightsaber battles, we had Darth Vader glimpses, and then Ahsoka gets eaten by a whale. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I guess this episode kind of just feels like, and especially pairing it with the chucking into cinemas thing, like Filoni preparing for his silver screen debut, I guess, with the movie, what they say, the New Republic movie, or whatever the fuck we're calling that, or the crossover event thing, whatever we're doing.
The crossover event that we all expect is
Thrawn the movie, or whatever. Yeah, so I guess like this has big scale. Chucking Cinemas trying to give him that like testing of it, which is funny because like he's technically like he's tested the water before with an animated movie and it bombed. So
did he make the animated?
I mean, he was involved. Yeah, like I actually can't remember if he directed the actual movie, but let me double check if I actually don't remember if he directed it or not. Oh fuck, hold on. Where do I find the movie? Of course, it takes me to the TV show. Clone Wars. Where's the movie? Oh, here we go. Yep. All the way down to it was directed by Dave Filoni. There you go. See?
There you go.
Yep. That was in cinemas. He didn't write it. Was directed by him. Has a 35 Metascore. So.
Yep.
Bombed it straight into a Cartoon Network show. And for the better. Ultimately, for the better.
Yep. It all worked out in the end.
It all worked out in the end. So, you know, we'll take the wins and the losses, that one. I enjoyed this episode, obviously, as a huge Clone Wars fan. I feel like if you're a Clone Wars fan, you're just going to like this episode full stop. I don't think it's a particularly great episode of like television outside of that. Like, it hits all the marks for me personally, but like so I jump on Twitter, obviously X, whatever the fuck. I jump on social media after watching it and I see people raving saying this is the best episode of Star Wars television, right? I see a lot of tweets saying these sorts of things. I'm like, this doesn't touch the third best episode, fourth best episode of Andor. I'm sorry, but like, I can say I love this.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going to get that away. I love this.
It just tickles a different part of your brain. Yeah,
this definitely ticks and tickles all my... Like, this does a lot of just fun things that... And look, the Clone Wars show, like, I like Star Wars growing up, right? I like everyone. This is the thing where people go, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm like, who the fuck isn't? Really? Like, everyone watches Star Wars, right? You know when you meet someone who's like, I've never watched one. You're like, cool, you're one of 100 people. Good for you, you know? Most people watched a form of Star Wars growing up, the movies or whatever. So it's like, saying I like Star Wars wasn't mind-blowing, but the Clone Wars TV show definitely like cemented me more into like the fandom side, right? So, and the Clone Wars TV show is all sorts of hits and misses and wins, like it's all over the place. But this just feels like a big scale, ticking a lot of boxes for that. And it's obviously, I don't want to say fan servicey, because I definitely feel like the story here is worth telling, and it doesn't feel like bringing in Anakin is solely for fan service, and it doesn't feel like the flashback stuff was done solely for fan service. But it's definitely, as you're saying, you're like, I'm not a huge fan of this thing, so you know that it's probably tickling my fancy more, which it was to a degree. Because I'll put this out there. Seeing Anakin and Ahsoka for the first time in live action, like young Ahsoka, so like Clone Wars period time stuff, flashback stuff. Seeing all that, I'm like, the chemistry between the girl and Hayden Christensen was
Ariana Greenblatt.
Okay, there you go.
Played young Ahsoka, who people would probably most known now as the girl
Nebula
from
or whatever.
Well, she played young Gamora in Infinity War, but she was in the Barbie movie. She was the daughter.
Was she the main one that like chucks things in there or whatever? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I thought the chemistry between them was good and everything, and that's the part I enjoyed the most. Was it sounded like Anakin and Ahsoka, like dialogue and delivery, like so what was on the page and what was being said was all text. And there was definitely a couple moments there where if you freeze frame it and you can like you just screenshot some of these things, I'm like, that's a cool wallpaper. But in motion, I did not like the flashback stuff simply because I feel like in dire need to cover up the de-aging stuff, and it does look a lot better this episode, because they're mostly covered in smoke and fog, and it helps cover that stuff up. But I'm like, I don't remember any episode of Clone Wars looking this. You know, like, and then they jump to the Siege of Mandalore, and I'm going, nah, I don't recall looking like this either. You know, like it's just.
Well, yeah, because that was animated.
Yeah, like an anime's colors are all different and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just that's the one thing that sort of annoyed me. I'm like, this fucking volume shot garbage that was the background of these.
But it's
scenes.
on purpose because it's it's a flashback.
On purpose
it's
to cover
the world
up the
in
fucking...
between worlds.
Yeah,
it's not actually real. It's not actual reality. It's a vision.
You can make that the story reason, but the real reason is just so they can cover up the special effects.
Well, yeah, well, I'm sure to a certain extent there's a stylistic element to it with all the smoke and like, it allows you to have those kind of shots where it flickers between Anakin and Darth Vader without it being like, that would play really weird if it was super realistic. And it does look cool with like in the background and distance you see the laser shots coming through and that through the smoke. So I didn't take too much of an issue of it. My thing is, what was the point? Well, what was the overall purpose of this interaction other than fan service?
So I've had time to, because I had the exact same thought. Like as soon as Ahsoka got out of this whole thing, my first thought too was, I don't understand what the point was. Like I don't understand what the lesson was. In the hours that have passed, because you only just watched this, right? I watched it this morning.
Maybe like an hour.
Yeah. So I've had the whole day basically to try and think about this. I think it was solely I think it is as simple as it was just supposed to be like implying that she had giving herself into that she would become her master was the point that I took. And the whole thing was that she just the idea that she could choose to do what she wants. Like I don't know. I took it as she's supposed to get more in touch with that side of her that would make her own destiny. You know, the Ahsoka who walked away from the Jedi Order, this sort of stuff. Because initially when the conversation starts with Anakin, it's this whole stuff, you know, after the jokes and stuff. And there was a funny part there where, you know, he's like, "You look old." And I'm like, it's actually, I saw someone say and point out, and I guess I didn't double check their math, but I trust them. Which is apparently that Ahsoka's actually older now in that scene than Anakin was when he died as Vader. So there you go. Like she's supposed to be like 47 and he died when he was like 45. Is something like that.
Yeah, it's hard to believe because of the way that he looked when the mask comes off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. But I mean, like, even if you think back, just to to double back for quick second,
Well,
when seeing in live action the child soldier thing, I think that my favorite scene was not only the lightsaber fighting and stuff. It was just her holding the hand of the clone trooper and stuff. And because the Clone Wars show does a very good job at like painting this, getting Ahsoka's relationship with all them up. That by time you come to the finale and they all turn on her, it's like distressing. It's really distraughting episode and stuff like that.
Yep.
But like the show, the animated series, because it was made for kids and also that it's animated, you never really understood how weird it would be to see a girl who's like 10 charging into battle. Like, you know, you picture these things like, leading into battle. And never mind the fact that Anakin's like, I think 19, 20 as well. Like, he's not even old. Like, he's still barely an adult.
Yeah.
And I think seeing that in live action sort of helps put that a little bit more into perspective. But
yeah.
I think
it was kind of interesting them kind of delving into the idea that Ahsoka was really trained more as a soldier than a Jedi.
Yeah,
like,
and
that's the issue, that she was brought into this world fighting, and she kept fighting, and then she had to keep fighting, and now she's kind of in this peace period, and I don't know if she necessarily knew what her place was.
Okay. And it's just something, I guess, that's never really touched on at all, like child soldiers and what they do, or the way the way Anakin puts it, like, you know, I was trained by Obi-Wan as a Jedi, as a, you know, we were the keepers of peace, and now I'm training you as my Padawan, and I'm training you to be a soldier. So and it sort of helps counteract, because I do see people after every episode, a lot of the haters of the show, I guess, if you want to call them that, whatever, but the critiques, a lot of them seem to be around Ahsoka lacking a personality, like as an adult, like all the arm crossing and the stuff like that, which isn't any different to how she acted in Rebels, if you've watched her in Rebels. And it sort of makes more sense when you go back and think about it. It's like, well, how would an adult who was brought up in a war and then all of her people died, like, would they be a super fun loving, you know what I mean? Like, it's just what would that personality be like for someone like that? And the answer is probably like that, stoic and, you know, not super light or fun. Like, they want her to be like she was. People want her to be as fun and lighthearted as she was during the Clone Wars with Anakin and stuff, but she hasn't been like that since the Clone Wars. She wasn't like that in Rebels, and she's certainly not like it now. And why would she be, like, after everything that's happened to her through her life? So none of that, all that makes perfect sense to me. But yeah, back to the lesson I just took as her. I think that was the lesson. I think as much as that is, and I think, I don't know if we'll see more payoff towards that as like a personality change. You do see somewhat of it, I guess, as she makes her decision to chase after the Purgils, space whales, and just get eaten by a space whale, and then that's how the episode ends, obviously. So I think that, like, sort of making my own, like, trusting more, and just, you know, I don't know, she's believing more in yourself.
She's living a little.
She's living a little, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. All the other stuff, I don't really need answers to either. I'll put out there straight away. I don't know if it bothered you. Like, why was she in the world between worlds? Like, all of that stuff, I don't really care, to be honest. It doesn't bother me.
I just assume she needed to be.
Yeah, it's like trying to go. It's like if we go back and watch Empire Strikes Back, and do I need an explanation?
I mean, for all we know, every single time one of the Jedi like have a near-death experience, they go there.
Yeah. But that we also know that planet is like a weird planet attuned to something. So for all we know, she could have literally fallen.
She's in the water for a very long time. So I mean,
yeah. So, but that's what I was going to say. Like, it's like going and watching Empire Strikes Back and asking for an explanation, a full explanation as to what is that part of the forest where Luke goes into and fights Vader, and, you know, like, can someone explain that to me? It's like, you don't need an answer. It's just Yoda says go there, so Luke does. And it's a memorable scene from the movie.
Places that
yeah. So there's just it's just one of those things. It's like there's just places and things. So I don't need answers for that.
Yeah.
How do you feel with the pacing of the first half between cutting backwards and forwards between Hera and Co, and then going back and forth between you'd get a scene of Anakin and Ahsoka fighting, and then cut back to Hera and so forth, so forth. Did you mind that or
no? I didn't have any issues. Did you?
No, I was just wondering.
No, obviously, I'm sure people would be like, "Oh, I just want more Ahsoka."
Yeah,
Anakin. But clearly, they're building up the Hera plot and the Jason stuff and like searching for Ahsoka. So I mean,
I liked all that.
When the ultimate aim is to rescue Ahsoka, it all like played out as it should have.
One key reason I liked that stuff. Do you want to guess what it is?
I don't know what.
They said
Jason,
his name.
The one character who we never saw interact with him said his name.
Yeah. Here's where used to be a thing called Kanan Jarrus. Oh yeah, there you go.
Carsten's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I like that reaction of like, oh, his father was a Jedi called Kanan Jarrus, and he's probably got similar skills. Carsten's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, fucking I'll fly my ship.
All right, whatever.
Like, just let me do the things.
I'll just fly on this mission again. Just sweep around until we run out of fuel.
Yep. Until my ship crashes into the ground and I die fucking in the ocean. Cool. Let's just do that, Hera. Good job, General.
I've already lost 2 people on this mission.
How many more do you want me to lose for you? Fucker. That was good. I enjoyed all that. I mean, the other thing is it's the first time we actually see, and I don't know how more they're going to build upon that. I assume they will because it'd be weird not to be honest. But the first time we see Jason is obviously force sensitive, so. So, I mean, not surprising.
I mean, part of me was surprised that Hera didn't ask Ahsoka if, she needs to train him or something, It's like, no, the first thing Sabine.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't trust Ahsoka. She's not mentally there. Right?
I mean, how many other Jedi are there?
Yeah, true.
I guess there's one.
At this point?
Yeah, there's one other.
Who?
Luke.
Oh, true. Completely forgot about him.
Forget about him. You know?
He's dead to me. And Ezra, I guess. Hopefully, maybe.
Hopefully.
And who knows? Maybe even old mate from the games. We don't know what happens to him.
Yeah.
Wait to carry that character forward to that. Yeah, I liked all the stuff cutting back to Hera just because you got to actually see more of her rebellious side come out. Just get away from this New Republic. Like, get away from that shit.
Yeah, she's not really vibing with New Republic.
No,
she's not really the lifestyle I think she's looking for.
No.
Although one of my favorite moments is when they first find Hu Yang, and he's got Sabine's helmet, and she's like, "They just never listen to me." He's like very sad.
Very sad robot.
Sad. Yeah, he's a very emotive, which I think is more than we've seen from a lot of droids in.
It's his age.
Yeah.
Older a droid gets, the more
he's a real boy.
Yeah, he's a real boy. That's true. Yeah. I'm a real boy now. I also like just with Jason. He's like, can you show him the ship? I've been on a ship before. Have you ever been on a Jedi ship? Ooh, let me show you the training room. You have a training room? Can you show me a train? No. Do you know how to build lightsabers? Yes. Can you teach me how to build a lightsaber? No. Good shit. Also, the part in the background, I also liked Chopper where it was like, "Hey, Mom, Chopper's picked up a thing here." Oh, Chopper wants you to go lower. How low? Really low. It's good shit.
Yeah.
So then we get towards the end of the episode. When Ahsoka wakes up from her nap or her 1-day rotation sleep, interesting to point out here is she now visually, when she decides to put on the grey white cloak thing or whatever, looking more visually like looking more visually like she appears at the end of Rebels. So, because the thing is, I don't know if like Filoni's just retconning his own like stuff, which is fine. Because the way she appears at the end of Rebels when she comes to pick up Sabine, she's got a stick, she's got a white cloak with a hoodie on, she's giving off, and people for years have been calling her like Ahsoka the White and all this stuff because it gives off very like Gandalf vibes and stuff like that. She has not been presented like this in the show. I was just like, it's fine. Like that's the scene where she comes to pick her up in episode 1 or whatever, but they just changed her outfit. Whatever, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But now I am wondering if Filoni's like sort of like, I've got more time. I'm going to build up this Ahsoka the White character. Maybe it is Lord of the Rings inspired, and we don't know, which would make more sense because it's like she literally just died basically, and now she's come back, and now she's picking up this more. So now she is like Ahsoka the White. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go down that that route of relating it to Lord of the Rings.
So what, she really drowned is what was
maybe I don't know. So but yeah, then we go up and talk to some space whales. So visually very cool, I thought.
Yeah. All the space
definitely
stuff, very
definitely
cool.
wish I could have watched it. That's the stuff where I'm like, this would look really cool on big screen, cinema screen. The space whale stuff I thought looked really, really good. Especially just the shot of like her standing out there. And just there's a lot of little things I liked here, like just her talking or like getting, well, she doesn't talk to it. She just gets a feeling is the thing, I guess. And then she, just the fact she's like, go park in its mouth. And then when Hugh Young is like, well, get inside. And at first, like she has a look on her face of like, oh, I was going to stay out here. Like, chill out here.
Probably not a great idea if, the whale opens its mouth slightly and you get sucked into vacuum of space.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. Now, I've seen a lot of conjecture around this online in the past week, and even today after this episode.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. This is the first time in Star Wars where these things have happened. So Star Wars starts, it says, a long time ago, and it'll go, galaxy far, far away, right? So all of Star Wars has taken place in one galaxy. Now, the place where Ezra and Thrawn are is a different galaxy, and where Ahsoka is presumably going at the end of the episode is another galaxy. This will be the first time that Star Wars ever travels outside of the long time ago in a galaxy, right?
The quote Star Wars galaxy.
The Star Wars galaxy, right? So people have started, and I'm just like, why? Why do you have to like overcomplicate and overthink things and try and make things? People have been like, oh, it's another galaxy, so there'll be another Ahsoka there, and there'll be like time travel, like all these, like, it's the thing. I'm like, we didn't say
that's not how galaxies work.
Yeah, we didn't say alternate reality. It's just another fucking galaxy, right? It's like
they come into Earth. That's what's happening.
Just watch fucking exactly. Like our Earth is in a galaxy, right? Star Wars is in a different galaxy. So technically, if they wanted to make Earth canon, yes, they could travel to Earth. But I was just like, I don't understand. Like, it's definitely like a, oh shit, is it doing it moment? Like going to another galaxy in Star Wars, because I'm all for it because it just opens up so many.
The universe.
Yeah, it opens up. I mean, the Star Wars universe is already.
Not that there wasn't already huge. And
well, no, the problem
planets.
was the problem wasn't that the galaxy wasn't big enough. It's that they chose to not use it appropriately within their movies and TV shows, and they would introduce all these cool other planets and things and whatever else,
come back to the same
spin-offs, and then come back to the same fucking sand planet a million times over and over and over, and you'd be like, for fuck's sake, how small is this galaxy? I know it's bigger. So maybe opening up another galaxy helps that. But I would love to see, like, I was thinking about it when you think, because in Mass Effect, it's like they have all these other galaxies and they travel between them through like mass relay towers and stuff like that, like stuff. I would love if like to build maybe like if Star Wars wants to go down any sort of route like that, I'm not even against it, to be completely honest. Like I don't mind. If you want to expand the galaxy, it's like fuck it at this stage, because at the moment I do feel like if we're going to stay in the one galaxy, you are incapable of like this galaxy is not big enough apparently for you to have any sort of like creative.
Well, they've
vision.
blown up like half the planets,
so fucking hell, they're like, oh, we're doing a spin-off show. Where should we set it? Well, probably between episodes 4 and 5. And what planet should be on? Tatooine. All right. Well, how about something else? Well, how about it's between 6 and 7? Yes. Okay. Getting better. Where's the set?
Mandalore.
Jakku! It's like, fucking stop it. I can't wait for next week. They're going to come out of this fucking whale's mouth and it's going to be a fucking sand planet still. Fuck off. I'm going to kill someone.
Sand's just everywhere. You know?
Oh, Jesus Christ. But no, it's different. It's different. It's different.
Maybe it's a different. Maybe it's a beach planet.
Yeah, beach planet. Yeah, great. Fucking hoorah. Yeah. Great. How shit's that? But I mean, I do think it's worth like, I think that's the part that a lot of people, so the people who are noticing this, like that they're going to another galaxy are completely overreacting to what it is. And then I think there's another side of people watching the show who don't actually realize, or maybe aren't even thinking, I don't even know if you'd probably thought about it, like the fact that they're going to another galaxy and what that actually means. Like that's,
they're going to uncharted space.
Yeah, they've never done that. Like that's not a thing that Star Wars has done. Like and I think the reason has been because it's like, well, a long time ago,
technically they have gone outside of the, at the end of episode 9, where they go over to wherever planet.
Yeah,
old mate. Is that?
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be. I don't actually know. I would have to go back, and I don't want to. I'm not sure if they implied it's either another galaxy or it's just a very hard to reach location within the outer rim or something that's like not properly charted on maps, because it could be either. So yeah, jumping to another galaxy is crazy. So yeah, I don't know what else. Anything else I missed? I don't know.
I did love Carson's interaction with the the general or commander, captain.
Oh yeah,
just evoking old mate
Poe.
Yeah, just it's just I'm here to do the mission. I got to wait till
he starts like so well. He's like, "Oh, you're breaking up there," and he's like, "Oh, stretch out this bit as far as I can." And then, "Oh, I can't tell you the mission. You don't have right clearance or whatever. Classification."
And then he just cracks. You're not gonna believe me.
Yeah,
she's got
just like his face. He was like, "If you don't do that, you may be strict up your rank." And his face of like, "All right, I'll tell you. You ain't gonna believe me."
And you get the beautiful scene of all the whales coming through. And then they don't seem to be moving very quickly at all. It's like take emergency measures. And then it's the whales like right next to the ship.
Yep. The whales go fast when they get them them moving. Yeah. Very cool to see though. It's like I also liked how that just reminded me about with Jason's like, now is this a story you told Mum about how Ezra got obliterated by whales? It's like she's like, yes. I'm
sure she changed the story to make it.
Yes, dear, and the bad guys. Don't forget the bad guys.
They got obliterated.
They got obliterated too. So it wasn't for nothing.
Saved us all.
Saved us all. Yeah. But no, I think that the part I would say honestly, there's two parts to this episode for me. I've got the first half, which is just hitting that side of my brain that's Clone Wars super fan, and just like it's tickling that, and I'm getting joy out of it. I know there's a million problems, like everything involved in that, and I know it's just like sort of, but I'm like, all right, I accept it. All right, you're tickling my fan service needs over here. The stuff I did like the most, then in the second half of the episode, but all the whale stuff, I really enjoyed that last like sort of 10 minutes. It really felt like a lead up to a cliffhanger where you're like, wow, some like shit's happening. Like it was like to me at least, I was like, wow, like another galaxy. It really like sort of hit me especially just the cut to blank right as the hyperspace kicks in. Like where the fuck are they going? Like it does feel like a cool cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts before we wrap up this thing?
No. They had live action Rex. I don't know if we had live action Rex.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they're all clones. We've had.
I mean, it was credited as Rex.
Yeah, it was credited as Rex. Yeah.
I know. Did the Mandalore clone armor look like they look like
they were Death Watch?
Like Death Watch.
Yeah, because it's Siege of Mandalore. So okay,
accurate.
Yeah. Apart from the smoke and
I'm pretty sure the smoke there. Okay. Yeah. You just didn't see it at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
Throw next week.
I mean, there's a moment of like Anakin, he's had the yellow eyes, then he closes his eyes for a second. Like he gives the longest stare without blinking and then he blinks, and then it's his blue eyes come back. I mean, that was a little
really good performance from Hayden Christensen is my last. I'll say. I think he did really good with everything else. He because he's not doing him right. Is the thing. He's
not doing his performance. He's acting based on the Clone Wars.
He's acting on two performances that aren't his, which is the interesting thing. He's doing Matt Latner, whatever his last name. Yeah, he's doing his version of Anakin during all the Clone Wars sort of stuff. Like he's got the Clone Wars costume on. He never wore that. Like that's from the animated series. Like all that sort of stuff. He's saying snips and all these things he's never had to say in his life. So all that stuff is great. And then on the other side, when he comes back in as the evil Anakin, he's not actually talking like evil Anakin from like turning to the dark side episode 3. Yeah. He's talking more like Darth Vader. Like in particular, what's he say? Your conviction, or no, was it?
You lack conviction.
You lack conviction. That's Darth Vader, right? That's a Darth Vader line. So he's speaking as both versions of the character he's never played as, and I think he did a really good job at
wish both. There was a more obvious message or lesson to learn from it.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes. I don't know if it's like a thing maybe in retrospect by the end of the season we can.
Yeah, or maybe we see him again. I don't know.
Don't know. Maybe not. I kind of doubt it at this stage, to be honest. I feel like that was it. Which I'm fine with. I don't need more. It was good. Yeah, everything in this episode is better than everything he did in Obi-Wan.
And now, see, at the end of the season, Force Ghost Anakin will come and see her.
Maybe.
So you're a true Jedi Master now. You've learned all you needed to learn.
I mean, I think at this stage, I'm just like, surely we're just accepting that, like, the series ends with, like, I think they're going to spend the next couple episodes in the other galaxy, and then the series ends with Thrawn making his way back to. Yeah. I think that's how it plays out, right? That's.
You'd assume so, and then it's, oh shit, Thrawn's here.
Or
should be continued.
wild prediction that would be sort of cool, I guess, would be like, so they spend the next couple episodes there, but end of the season, or even before the end of the season, like penultimate or anything like that, it's like Thrawn fucks off, Ahsoka and Sabine are left there. You know? That could be a thing. Don't know. But yeah, Thrawn next week, I would assume so. You have to go back. And presumably, it won't just be them. Presumably, because it'd be really weird to announce you've cast Ezra just for a hologram. Presumably, Ezra will also be there helping them. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Thank you for joining us this week on Live Action Rebels. Live Action Clone Wars this week, I guess. Very much. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Check out all the other stuff on explosionnetwork.com. Of course, we'll be back here next week to talk about what do we have left? 3 episodes. 3 episodes left of the season. So, my slogan for the show doesn't really work to sign you off anymore. So,
well, we still want her to say his name.
All right. We want her to say his name. Goodbye.